When I found out I was going to be a parent, I immediately felt a lot of anxiety and worry. So I went on to BetterHelp to try to look for a therapist to help me with that.
My relationship with my family and with my boyfriend and with myself were suffering. I really needed help.
I was ruminating a lot. Really getting those thoughts out to a therapist and getting feedback was just life-changing.
Discover what BetterHelp Online Therapy can do for you. Visit BetterHelp.com today.
You can't predict the future, but you can prepare for it. Arizona State University is building degrees for what's ahead. Programs designed around emerging fields, taught by faculty whose research is shaping our future, not just teaching about it. It's why we've been ranked #1 in innovation for more than a decade. Your future is worth preparing for, and you don't have to prepare alone. Future-proof your career. Explore more than 350 programs at asuonline.asu.edu. That's a degree better.
You're listening to this podcast, so I know you've got a curious mind. Here's a helpful fact you might not know yet. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive save over $900 on average. They make it super simple. Pop over to Progressive.com, answer some questions, and you'll get a quick quote with coverage options tailored to your choices. Plus, you'll see which discounts you may qualify for, like the online quote discount or savings for paying in full. In fact, 99% of Progressive Auto customers earn at least one discount. See if you could save when you switch to Progressive. You'll feel good about making a savvy choice. Visit Progressive.com and see if you can enjoy a little extra cash back. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National average 12-month savings of $946 by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive between June 2024 and May 2025. Potential savings will vary.
Welcome to Unbiased Science, where we bring scientific method to the madness. I'm your host, Dr. Jess Steyer, and we are back on the Estrogen Express with 3 unbiased scientists. We have Dr. Sarah, we have Jen, and we have Veronica. We are crossing generations. We have our resident OBGYN, and we're going to get into some more menopause stuff, women's health stuff, because we love talking about this. And this was a really popular topic because you all seem to really like the last episode that we did, so we wanted to keep it going. Jen was inspired by a question or a comment that we got. So can I turn it to you to kick it off?
Yeah, we had this really nice husband write in that he appreciated our last episode because it helped him understand his wife, which I thought was nice. So we can get some more guys like that out there. That's wonderful. Like, we've all got great men in our lives. So, yeah.
Can I just preempt the comments that I know we're going to get, which is, why are we applauding them for doing the thing that they should be doing? Right? Like, we're going to get that. But I still think it's nice, and I love that.
And that they listened to an episode that was not necessarily aimed at them. That is really living outside the box. Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If you're watching this, Veronica, our resident Gen Zer, taught us this little finger thing, which I still don't understand what it means, but I think it's applauding.
It's fun, and that's what matters.
So what was the question, or I think there was more, right, Jen? It was like about how,
I don't remember exactly, but maybe she was acting or having some mood swings, and this was making him a little more understanding.
Sarah, can you talk to us about what's going on a little bit?
Yes. There is a lot, and here's something I want to start with. Estrogen receptors are in the entire body. So they are really dense, or there's a ton of them in your brain and every part of your brain. So we think about it again. We talked about this last time. They're not just down there. They're everywhere. That should be our catchphrase.
I like that.
And then thank you. So the biggest thing is when perimenopause begins, a lot of people think it's all about the periods and the hot flashes. But for most women, mood changes come first. And they're also misconstrued as something else because it's usually in this like 40s-ish range where a lot of other stuff is going on. So irritability is usually the way women describe it. So they don't think of it like in a depression, anxiety. They think they're just annoyed with everyone and that everyone deserves that they're be annoyed with. The way you chew, the way they breathe, when they flip the channel, they do it in a way that's really obnoxious.
Couldn't it just be annoying also?
They could be, but you might have known that person for 20 years and you were fine with it. And then all of a sudden it's driving you up the wall. So that might be a sign for you. And again, because it doesn't fit into what most people think of as like a depression sign or an anxiety sign, people think they're just fed up, which again, they could be. But a lot of times that might be a sign that the estrogen is going up, down, all around in the brain. And I know we've talked about this a little bit before, but this is one of the 3 times in a woman's life that she's most likely to have depression or anxiety symptoms, even if she'd been like status quo for a while. The first one is when they're starting menarche or starting to have periods, because again, hormones are going everywhere. The second time is if you have kids postpartum. And so, and then this is the third time. So also, if you know you had issues during those times, it's something to be thinking about in this time of your life, because this could be why, even if it's not showing up the same.
Wow. That is so interesting. I'm concerned as someone who's been dealing with anxiety and depression for decades and who is just generally irritated by people at this point in my life that it might be hard for me to differentiate. But okay, so that's like the canary in the coal mine.
Yes.
Irritability.
Yes. It just shows a little different. But truthfully, it's almost if you know and you're ahead of it, and you're like, I already have these symptoms. I know I have anxiety and depression. I have to keep an eye on them. You're more likely to get the help earlier. It's the people that maybe never have had or suppressed it or didn't think they were there yet. So in perimenopause, 2 to 4 times more people will have like a first instinct of depression, anxiety than before. And that's from the Menopause Society and a SWAN study, which is a 30-year study done on menopausal women. So there's a lot of data around this. So it's something to keep an eye on.
Does HRT then help with that? Like if you're yes. Okay. Kind of levels things out.
It does. And again, it's not saying you have to take it, but a lot of people get really frustrated when they go to their doctor and they're having anxiety, depression issues that they think are due to hormonal changes, and they're given an antidepressant. And people have strong feelings about that. And I think, truthfully, there's a lot of things we said, but hormone changes, using a hormonal medicine helps, and actually great data that antidepressant. So you're help with the hormonal changes as well. And when you put them together, it's synergistic. So it's like 3 times the effect. So if mood changes are a big part of perimenopause for you, A, don't be scared of hormone therapy if you're a good candidate. And B, if your doctor gives you an antidepressant and you're like really annoyed because you're like, and again, irritated because you're mad at everybody, and then they gave you an antidepressant. No, they might have been doing it because we have great data that it really helps with the irritability because of perimenopause. They're not saying it's in your head. They're saying that the hormone receptors in your head, this works on them really well.
Interesting. Yeah. Jen, any follow-ups? Because then I have other questions.
Yeah, the only thing I would wonder is, what if you go to the doctor and they kind of dismiss you? Or, couldn't this lead to people kind of dismissing you? Like, oh, she's on her period. Oh, she's perimenopausal, that kind of thing.
Oh, absolutely. And I hear this all the time. And I was at one of my kids' school event today, and someone was telling me this exact story. And then I forgot it because I'm perimenopausal. So until you said that, I forgot it. But yeah, she was like, I went to 3 or 4 different appointments before someone said maybe this was because of perimenopause. And that's hard. And I wish there was an easy answer. And I know it's because we haven't been able to give these doctors the education they deserve to be able to really quandary that out. And because maybe they're going to a different type of doctor, they're going to a neurologist or something like that, or a psychiatrist that maybe hasn't been exposure to any menopause medicine. So they wouldn't think, oh my gosh, a 40 to 50-year-old, 60-year-old woman, this could be her hormones. I should start there. Instead, they're going down the pathway they're used to going down.
Yeah, or your doctor says like, oh, you need a vacation. You've got young kids. You're working full time,
Yeah, I wish I could say that didn't happen, but we all know this happens all the time. And it's an education thing. And by hearing this, I'm hoping, and sharing this, I'm hoping you can have that in your head, that here's someone who like really loves talking about menopause, and like that's what she studies and is in the weeds on all the time. And I could go through a brain by brain part of like why the connections are funky during this time, but just know it's estrogen rooted. And I have so much I want to say about it, but I'm going to calm down.
Although if you're like that husband out there, don't go to your wife and say, I think you're having this.
That was always the problem, is because, okay, of course, you go to your annual and you're likely not bringing your significant other. But I always felt like I was saying a story and they're like, my significant other needs to be in this room and hear this. And they know when they go home that they're not going to really think the doctor said this was the case. Because they're like, you just want that to be the case. So it's like, it's almost like you'd want to make an appointment just for this with a menopause specialist so that they could hear what you're saying. And I used to write prescriptions and been like, this is truly because of what's going on in her body. Doctor's orders, like, leave her alone or whatever it was, like, stop breathing so heavily, do not chew gum in front of her. We're working on it, but just give it time.
So yesterday, was it yesterday? What day is it? Today is Monday. Yesterday was Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all the mamas out there. I'm doing the little finger thing. And so we were saying it could be interesting to talk about how did our mothers talk to us about this? And then we as mothers, like I'm thinking about my daughter who's 8. She has a lot of questions. Like she already knows about periods and she's, she knows all about that. But we have not broached menopause at all. But Veronica, maybe I could bug you. Did we already talk about, I'm sorry if we already talked about this, but I don't remember. Did your mom ever talk to you about menopause or perimenopause?
No, I never got the talk, but I heard the ladies in my family talking, and basically the gist that I got from it is that hot flashes happen. I knew that hot flashes were a thing, and that was kind of like the only thing to talk about that was like somewhat socially acceptable, of like, oh, I'm having a hot flash, like I need to get some air and stuff. And I was like, oh, that's the only thing that happens in menopause or perimenopause. Like you have hot flashes and that's it. But I only had conversations with my mom later where then she told me about all of these other things that happen. And, like the fatigue and the memory issues and like more frequent like UTIs that we spoke about last time, like all of these new symptoms and like these new like phenomena that are happening that are because of perimenopause or menopause. But as a kid, the only thing I really knew was the hot flash, and I'm also interested to understand why that happens. Sarah, maybe you could educate us a little bit.
That's also in your brain. So your brain, super powerful, super important. We love our brain, and people that say the brains are so smart. Just putting that out there. So we got to give them snaps. So there's a center in your brain that is like your temperature control. And it's usually set where it has a nice even, let's say 65 degrees. And even when it adjusts up a degree, down a degree, it holds steady really well. Well, during this time, because we're not getting the estrogen into that area, it is like jolting. So it's going like 75, 55, 45, 62, 107. And it's just like the thermometer is broken and it's doing wacky things. And there's nothing you're doing wrong. Now, we can do things to help decrease your chance or help how you feel about the hot flashes. But it's the estrogen actually getting to that receptor that changes how you feel. And again, not everyone has hot flashes and not everyone has them terrible or has them where they even think about it. But the biggest part that I think people don't realize is even if they don't think they're having hot flashes, these changes are happening during the night. And also keeps you from sleeping as deeply because that actual area for your circadian rhythm lives in the same area as the thermostat area. So it's all in the same part of your brain. And so when the estrogen's not hitting there as well, it shifts. And that's why a lot of people have that 3 a.m. wake up. So they're like all universally, it's like 3 a.m. It's all living there. And it also keeps you from getting into the really good deep sleep that helps your brain clear all the clutter out, that helps your memory work. And that's why people wake up feeling like they're not rested at all because they didn't get that good brain clear out. So it's all together. But yeah.
I never get that brain clear out. Sorry, Jen, go on.
So the patch helps though, right? It's supposed to help.
Yes, because it's getting that estrogen, kind of leveling it out and getting it there. So because the longer you go without getting the estrogen responses to your brain actually makes more receptors because it's trying to suck up more estrogen. And the more receptors you have without having estrogen going in, it actually causes more cognitive changes in your brain to feel like it's a lot foggier. So it's kind of like, we call it the window of vulnerability, which is AKA you want to start doing, if you're going to do something hormonal, it's better to start earlier as possible. And that's why they say start it within 10 years of having menopause before age 65. It's not because there's anything wrong on the other side, but we know you get the most positive benefit without causing the big scary side effects when you start it early. Because
Let me throw something in here, though, because I went on the estrogen patch for a while, but then, explain this, my doctor said it's really the progesterone that's going to put me to sleep, so she put me on progesterone.
Yes.
So what's the...
That too. So progesterone, again, we're talking about the estrogen, and that's working on that center, but progesterone side effect is actually just sleepiness, just like some other medication side effects. So it's not necessarily because it's hitting a receptor that makes you sleepy. It's just a side effect of the medicine is it's really good for, helps you fatigue. Just like people take melatonin, or take a sleeping medicine for some reason or the other. Same idea.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So when you talk about like hormone therapy, you're not just talking about estrogen patches. You're also talking about like the progesterone pill that your doctor might tell you to take.
Yes. But everyone, hormone therapy, estrogen has the most bang for the buck. But if you have a uterus, you need the progesterone, even if you're not having sleeping issues, because it protects the uterus from you getting like uterus cancer. So progesterone is good. And we're finding out more things that it may be beneficial. And I actually was just reading a study that was done from Brigham and Women's about how they think the byproduct of progesterone actually can be really helpful for anxiety. The same way they're using it for postmenopausal depression people. Like people that have to be hospitalized for postmenopausal depression can be put on an IV medication that works really well and really fast for it. And they're now studying it for this stage in life. So, it may do more than we think.
So back to moms. So my mom, I selfishly want to return to this. So this might be TMI, but my mom is okay with me talking about this, that when she was I'm trying to think how old she would have been. I think it was in her 40s. Yeah, it was in her early mid 40s. She developed a cyst, I guess, that she was like the size of a grapefruit I remember this. I was like, I don't know, my early preteen, early teen, something like that. Anyway, and she ended up, it was benign, but she ended up needing a full hysterectomy, a total hysterectomy. Yeah. And so what is that like? Because she never went through menopause. Like, I never saw her go through it. So I never really experienced that with her. I never rode the estrogen, express with her. So what in that case though, like what happened? Like what's going on there? Hormones, and do you need hormone replacement, or what do you do?
Yeah, well, so actually for most people, when you do I call it the full sweep, when they take out the ovaries, the tube, the uterus all at once, it's usually the most severe menopause because it's sudden and it like it's the on off switch. Like we're going through this like getting there, getting lower, she just went flatline. So for most people, when they have the clean sweep or they have symptoms because of they're on chemotherapies, and so it's a sudden, but it's temporary, they have severe. So she may be one of those lucky people that handled it asymptomatic, which is great for you because, you know, looking to your mom is a great way to see what your menopause is going to be like.
Okay.
Or she could have been one of those lucky people, even though it was done after that study, that was given hormones. I don't know if you know if she was put on hormones afterwards.
I don't remember it. She doesn't remember it somehow. So I'm not sure.
She says she was asymptomatic, like you didn't notice anything.
Yeah.
I don't remember her going through any real, like, I didn't notice symptoms at all. And she didn't.
Oh my
really.
gosh.
Yeah.
My mom's was terrible. So I am emotionally preparing. I am doing all the things ahead of time because she was during that time when nobody would give you hormones. So our house was at like 30 degrees. She was an exerciser, so at least she had that going because it's really good for your system. It can help a lot of the physical symptoms and emotional symptoms to exercise. It's really good for you. But she still had every symptoms. The irritability, the cognitive. My dad's a cardiologist, and it was back in the days before cell phones, and he had a pager. And we would hammer page him. You know, you could write on the pager, like, what you're thinking. Yeah. And my sister and I would page him with our side of it, and she would page back with her side of it. And then we knew the nurses were reading to this in the OR. So we're like, they're having the best time listening to our fights in real time because we were also teenagers. So we were going through our own things. So it was like a cacophony of hormones in our house.
You're listening to this podcast, so I know you've got a curious mind. Here's a helpful fact you might not know yet. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive save over $900 on average. They make it super simple. Pop over to Progressive.com, answer some questions, and you'll get a quick quote with coverage options tailored to your choices. Plus, you'll see which discounts you may qualify for, like the online quote discount or savings for paying in full. In fact, 99% of Progressive Auto customers earn at least one discount. See if you could save when you switch to Progressive. You'll feel good about making a savvy choice. Visit Progressive.com and see if you can enjoy a little extra cash back. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National average 12-month savings of $946 by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive between June 2024 and May 2025. Potential savings will vary.
Wait, sorry, I don't want to interrupt your thought. Did you want to finish your thought, Sarah? Or you could?
Oh, no.
Perfect. So I just have to know, Veronica. So Sarah just said pager. I had a beeper. Someone explain to me why I had a beeper.
I don't know what
Okay, this is what I was going to ask you. Is this wild? Veronica doesn't know what it is. Is that?
You don't know what it is?
Well, I've seen like doctors in shows have pagers, but like everyone used to have a pager.
Yeah.
Like that was.
Yeah. Well, everybody, like when I worked in the hospital in the 90s, everybody had a pager.
Yeah.
It was kind of like a status symbol. Yeah.
But we were like, can I just tell you, my friends and I, we would page each other like, 8008 boob or, like boobs,
Yeah.
like
We had numbers.
It was just such a waste of money. For me, it was nonsensical. But yeah, you just unlocked a memory. I haven't thought about that in a really long time.
Yes, there's an era of us who had pagers. And some of us had cell phones and pagers, which also doesn't make a lot of sense.
I think that was
it was before text messages. That's why. Or text messages cost like $1 a word. So we probably were paging because you couldn't text message until after 8 or 9 p.m. when it was free.
Wow, I don't remember any of this. We just blew Veronica's mind.
Like you texted on the pager? Was that the purpose of it?
Well, there were like certain numbers that can look like letters. So like 911.
Okay, so it's just
or like
numbers.
911, like call me right away. It's an emergency. Or like
Got it.
SOS.
Oops.
I'm really excited. Like this is like millennial Gen X, Gen Z, like learning together. Like what's cool? Like we learned this from you. And now we're teaching you about pagers for fun.
We need to get a boomer on though. Because we're missing the boomer age range.
Yes.
We'll need a mom.
Yeah.
One of our moms.
If my mother, she would go viral. She would be, Bob. We call her Bobsha. That's Polish for grandma. She'd be a real hoot.
We need her.
We do. We need Bobsha.
She would love this.
Can I ask I have a non-menopause question. Is that, or am I going off base?
No, go for
Okay,
it.
because we are working on a post that may or may not, I think it'll be live probably when this episode goes live, all about UTIs. Okay. Now, I know
Oh,
we were
yeah.
saying that UTIs are, I guess, menopause increases the frequency of UTIs. I have been a UTI sufferer. I think I mentioned that last time. I had pyelonephritis. It went up to my kidneys. It was awful. Okay. Um, because I feel like there's a lot of misinformation about UTIs. The lots of discussion around cranberry juice, which my understanding is that may be helpful in prevention, but certainly not treatment, is my understanding. Then also things like those AZO tablets, which that's honestly, and please don't sue me, but I was taking those tablets when I had a UTI and I wasn't treating the infection. And that's why it went on up and caused a kidney infection. And then there's the whole peeing after sex thing. Like, what are you, like, Sarah, what do you tell patients? Like, what should we know about UTIs?
Okay, first of all, that was one of the most fun posts I've worked on, so I'm so excited for it when it comes out. It was Jess's idea, and we had so much fun playing with it. It was great.
I don't think it was.
You were the raise your hand. Yes. And then we just went crazy and I had so much fun. But anyways, okay, back to important things. So number one thing is hydration. None of us drink enough water. We should be like carrying around. Oh, thank you. All of us. Okay.
Kill me right now.
Okay. If you don't have a water bottle, I don't even remember what I could get one. But hydrating.
Got it.
Yes, you know what I'm going at.
Yes, ma'am.
Hydrating is, I would say, the number one thing you can do to prevent. It's because you are dehydrated and your body's working overtime. So, A. B, sadly, not being female really helps. There's a lot of reasons behind it, but one of the major ideas is probably just because the distance between the outside world and the inside world, where the outside bacteria live and the inside, are just a lot closer. Yeah. And you're not doing anything wrong, just bacteria are close, so they're working together. Like you said with azo, it's great for numbing, but it doesn't treat. So a lot of people will numb it until they have a really scary infection. So that's the problem. If you feel better, so you think you're better, but you're not better. Mm-hmm. And then your kidneys get angry.
Can I ask what azo is?
It's a pill, and we call it azo. I forgot the real name for it. And someone's going to make fun of me for that. But it is it's a numbing medicine that's been kind of branded all around, treat your UTI all by yourself over the counter, because it's over the counter.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And so it's in that aisle.
Wait, but it's an infection.
It's an infection. It is, which is part of the problem, is people think they believe they're treating the infection. They are just treating the pain from the infection. Okay. And so that gets lost in translation. I'm hoping not because it was purposely done. I'm hoping it's just lost in translation, and we've all just kind of picked up that wording, but it is not treating the infection. It's just treating the pain. So, yeah. And then the cranberry juice, there's actually studies that say it works, but only if you have a certain concentration. So just drinking cranberry juice isn't going to do anything to prevent you from getting it.
Can I add my 2 food science cents here? That cranberry cocktail and cranberry juice are not the same thing. So I'm pretty sure that these studies are looking at either cranberry concentrate in a pill form, or actual cranberry juice, 100% pure cranberry.
Yes.
And cranberry cocktail and cranberry juice are really not the same thing. And I really think that because cranberry juice tastes like ass. I'm sorry.
I love cranberry juice.
No, it's so bitter.
Hold on.
Oh my God.
Real quick, right? So Thanksgiving, we make like all kinds of cranberry stuff. I sugar like cranberries. I sugar them, like I soak them in. Do you guys, like a sugar water mixture, and then roll them in like a sugar cinnamon thing? You would despise this, Veronica. It is very bitter, but the sweetness kind of balances it. I think it's delicious. Sorry. Wait, are you saying, Sarah? Are you also hating this?
No, I am. I'm so confused. Like
cranberry.
Yes, I.
Sorry, guys, I'm a cranberry juice hater. Cranberry juice cocktail is good. Yeah. Honestly, I think I hate it just because every doctor I went to go see, because I'm also like Jess, I'm a very frequent UTI sufferer, went up to the kidneys, whole thing. Like I've been there, and I went to the doctor, and they're just like, you got to drink more cranberry juice, and I was like, this isn't for longer than 30 seconds, and your advice, I'm also in Canada, you have to wait like a good 10 hours to see any kind of doctor. So I'm sitting there in pain, need a pee, and I get there, the only thing you have to say to me is drink cranberry juice. So I was like glugging that. I was like 18 to 20, and now I just hate it. So I'm just a hater.
Girl, you're getting yourself edited. Yeah, you're getting yourself.
Sorry.
I don't know if Jared, our producer's on here, but we're going to be getting that bleep button ready for.
Sorry, Jared.
You're
very strong.
You're going to turn this into a drinking game. People are going to wait for you to bleep, and then this is going to be fine. Guys, this is like 9 p.m. activity if you're of the right age.
I have one, but I feel like I'm bogarting the conversation. So does anyone else have any follow-ups?
Bogarting the conversation?
Yeah.
Oh, can I say one more thing about and peeing after sex doesn't actually necessarily work. But it's not bad for you. So do it if you want to.
Wait, it doesn't work. What do you mean?
I don't know, because I looked into it. Yeah, it looks like has nobody studied just that.
Everything I know is a lie, guys. The cranberry juice.
They have studied it.
How do I prevent UTI?
They have a randomized control trial they'd have to do.
No, I think right, Sarah. There have been studies, but it's I'm shocked because I was like, that was like my trick. It was like, you just pee after and you're good. Don't get too comfortable. Get on up. Get yourself to the bathroom, and you're good. But then, I'm seeing that that's not apparently a scientifically based thing. And then I'm also seeing
associated in some studies it says it's associated.
Jen is going hard.
Again, and this is why they're like, if you want to do it, cool. It's not hurting anybody. Yeah, and it makes you feel like you're being proactive, and proactive is awesome. So
literally,
it doesn't hurt it.
Exactly.
It could help.
Oh my God, you're so funny.
But that was like my one trick up my sleeve. I was like, I know how to prevent this. I'm going to
But I wonder, because I feel like people consistently say they feel like it works for them. So I say you do you, boo.
Flush it all out.
Because
right? Drinking water. Right?
Yeah, it's just in one end, out the other.
Just so you know, I'm about to get roasted because we were evidence-based and we're throwing out our anecdotes right now, and you're gonna get me totally canceled, guys. So thank you.
But the evidence-based, it is not going to help. But even though that's the case, it is still in some of the literature, because they're like, it's not hurting anyone. That's how unworried, the Urology Association, all that are about it. Mm-hmm. Some of them still leave it kind of they're not saying to do it. They're just saying don't do it. Because they just,
Right. Yeah. Winky face.
We don't want to be, we're not the mean guys. So.
By the way, guys, I don't know. I hope that people start watching this on YouTube, the video. And we're also Spotify video, because I feel like that adds a whole layer. We're doing all these facial expressions and, gestures. If you are watching, I should give the disclaimer that I'm in a hotel room right now, and I'm on my cell phone giving Blair Witch Project vibes, so I do apologize. Can I ask maybe a final question? Because I know we're coming up on time, but Yeast infections. A lovely conversation. That's something else I've had the pleasure of experiencing more times than I'd like. What is that? Can you tell us what that is and
And it increases too,
does
right?
it?
Yes, which I'm finding.
So
Yes.
when
Is there any good things that happen with
yes,
I'm
you
just,
are
like, asking
liberated.
for
You
more.
feel good about yourself. You say what, I say who. Like your attitude, like your ability to say like, this is who I am. Like it's very The Greatest Showman vibes going on here.
Oh, I'm so looking forward to that, along with my 80,000 UTIs and yeast infections.
So this is not a negative menopause space. This is just like, if you understand what's going on, I think it A, helps you know what to do about it, and B, lets you think like, it's not just me, and there's like, and this is just temporary, and a lot of times things get better. So, but yes, I know good. Thank you for saying that, because I don't want people to think this is like a doom and gloom. Because I've never been cooler. You've never been cooler.
We were talking about our vaginas like inverting last time.
Jen, do you want to talk about this more? Let's talk about this more.
No.
Get your mirror out.
So yeast infections. Okay, so thinking menopausally, so the pH does change. So a lot of times infections are more frequent if we don't do anything to keep that tissue at its estrogen-based pH. So that's another reason to consider estrogen, topical estrogen. But a lot of times people think they're having a yeast infection or think something, but it's just because the smell has changed. They think they're having infections over and over.
Jen's
so it
dead.
might not necessarily be.
We lost Jen. Jen's done.
Okay, but also making sure you don't go trying, I'm going to say this, I'm sorry, I have to. Don't go try to make your vagina smell like a floral like arrangement. You know that whole aisle where they're trying to make it smell like a flower? Just don't do it. Because there's nothing wrong with the way that it smells when the pH changes. It's just where it is then.
Yes. And Veronica, can I just say how lucky you are? Because when I was your age, you couldn't buy like monostat over the counter. You had to go to the doctor.
Really?
We just had it when I was your age.
You had to
get a prescription for monostat.
And that's an antifungal, right?
Yes.
Or no?
Yes.
Antifungal.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And you could take it there, and I know there's a pill version I have taken. Right?
No, is it over the counter? I think it's just
not over the counter. Husband is an ER doc. Oh my God, I'm totally getting him in trouble. There is a pill. It is
Diflucan.
Yes, there you go. Diflucan, which is prescription only. Or you could do the over-the-counter monostat situation, right?
Yeah. But the Diflucan it's the Rolls Royce of medicine versus the monostat. Diflucan is like chef's kiss for it. Yeah.
It is chef's.
Is that like something your insurance will cover?
Yeah. Usually, I hate to say that because who knows, every insurance is different, but most people, it's not a big deal and it's pretty cheap. And people that have chronic, I would used to just like prescribe them like a bunch and they knew how to take it. And so we would just do it that way.
Yeah.
You take one day and then 3 days later, and most people that's like done.
Yeah.
And that's it?
That's it.
Versus the stuff that you're like, I'm sorry, don't go on, Sarah.
Oh, no. Keith, please shove. What are you shoving? What are you doing?
Well, the syringe of the antifungal cream, or now it has the little pellets that you put on. Yeah, and then there's the what is it? 3 day, 5 day, 7 day, and I'm like, the 3 days sounds the most appealing. Why would I want to do it for 7 days? So I never know, like, is there a benefit to spreading it out?
What is with that, Sarah? 3, 7, 10? What is that?
I truthfully...
5?
I think it's just like a marketing. Some people like feel good if they've done something for 7 days. And I want to say, don't quote me on this because I haven't looked recently, but I want to say the 3 day is like the most bang for your buck. It's like the more powerful because as they get shorter, the medicine gets stronger. But most people find the 1 day doesn't really do much. So the 3 day was usually where I directed people. But I don't have like hardcore evidence, but I just felt like it was the best compromise. And people actually did it versus 7 days. People are done. They're so tired of that stuff coming out the next morning and their laundry having to be done all the time. My God.
Yes. And you had to do it, I always did it like right before bed, because then if you got up and walked around, like gravity would do its thing.
Well, and then you're just wasting your money. It needs to stay in there to do its job.
Jen, I'm sorry.
We had the hand. Please watch this. This is so fun.
Yeah,
like, don't
so
be
good.
listening, watching.
No, you gotta watch the video.
Jen is clutching
Yes, that's what I was clutching her pearls.
Yes, bright red. Oh my God, so funny. Oh, I want to look into that. I also wonder if there's a price difference. I don't know, like for the different doses. I wonder.
It is more expensive to get the shorter ones.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay.
There we go. Ooh, they're really making you
patriarchy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's patriarchy.
Right? Right?
Right.
Oh my God.
Am I right? Am I right? Yes.
Am I right?
Well, I love this. I could stay on for hours. I think we're just going to need to do another episode. But was there anything that we should have said that we didn't say? Like, Sarah, I just want to make sure that we didn't miss any. I think we covered a lot, but.
Okay. I just want to go back so people remember estrogen receptors in your brain. It shows up like irritability usually more than like your normal depression. And it's also the estrogen receptors is between the different parts of your brain. So like your amygdala, which is like your smoke detector that's saying like, everything's terrible, usually connects to your other areas like your hippocampus, which is your memory that everything isn't terrible. And your prefrontal cortex, which is the area that says like, let's read a research article before we think everything's terrible. So the connections aren't working as well. So like people who previously were like, flying is fine, I know the airplanes aren't always on time, but everything's good. You probably noticed this, people that could fly easily now are like, everything's terrible when I go to the airport and everything won't happen on time. And there's so much more like amped up about it. That's because those connections aren't working as well. So estrogen's playing in all of this. So again, it's not in your head. This is estrogen receptors doing a lot of things. Okay. So your brain's a big part of every part of your body, but how you think and feel about it. So knowing that, I hope helps people.
Love that. Thank you, Dr. Sarah, Jen, and Veronica. This is so much fun. Estrogen Express is definitely going to come back again because this is too much of a hoot. Thank you all for tuning in. We hope you learned a thing or two. We hope you had some fun. And you can catch us next week on your trusted source for no nonsense, just science.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy. Just drop in some details about yourself and see if you're eligible to save money when you bundle your home and auto policies. The process only takes minutes, and it could mean hundreds more in your pocket. Visit Progressive.com after this episode to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.